La Collina the Odia. The hill hates you. I came to Lerici, Italy the second week of November 2014. I flew out of Dulles to Munich, then to Genoa. I was surprised at first how much I recalled of the Munich airport. I knew exactly where everything was as I got off the airplane, including the bathrooms and the restaurant with the beautiful long wooden table and benches. I find it a little strange that you can be so familiar with a bit of real estate in a foreign country you might only visit a handful of times for business or personal travel. I've heard it said that someone from a city has more in common with someone in a foreign city than they do with an individual from a rural town in their own country. My instant recognition of the Munich airport tells me that they may be onto something. With only a sheet of paper with hand-scrawled directions, including helpful tips from my wife, I started my journey at curbside. I was to take the local Volvo bus from Genoa Airport to the railway station for the train ride to La Spezia. After buying a ticket from the bus driver and faithfully stowing my luggage in the underbelly of the bus, the trip began. At each stop, I hoped that my luggage wasn't walking away from the bus under the direction of one of my recently departed fellow passengers. While hurtling along in the chic new bus, I enjoyed the romantic banter of a young, aspiring rock and roller and his girlfriend. He had long 80s poison hair and a wicked jawline, and she wore a hat out of Molly Ringwald's wardrobe in a John Hughes movie. They talked about where they would go out that night after they ate dinner at his apartment. The awkward newness of the relationship was obvious as they talked about what time they liked to eat and how often, what bands they liked, and where they planned to go in the coming weeks. They were adorable and naive in the best possible way. I managed to get off at the correct railway station. I bought a ticket for my train trip from the ticket kiosk and then tried to tell what track my train would depart from. The ticket was entirely unhelpful. You have a train ticket, and it's good for the next 2 hours. Good luck finding your train. I stood in line to talk to the ticket agent after staring blankly at the train status board over my head. In my jet-lag state, it was over my head. The local panhandler in a tattered Italian military uniform made the rounds. Collecting change from well-dressed older Italian women, he was charming in Italian. After giving up on the unmoving queue to see the ticket agent, I decided to jump on the next train heading south, with the assumption that my generic ticket would suffice. The train was uneventful until I fell asleep. When I awoke, I didn't know whether I had already passed La Spezia. After many hours on planes and buses and trains, the prospect of hurtling down the coastal tracks of northern Italy, having gone past my destination, was not something my brain wanted to deal with. Fortunately, I had not passed it. I found the Chef Express, McDonald's, in which my wife had instructed me to meet her. I will be completely honest, I did enjoy a Big Mac and fries and a Coke. Even though these are factory mass-produced food-like items, there are times when it really hits the mark. This was that moment. My wife arrived to pick me up, and we quickly headed to the bus stop to get home to our rented apartment in Lerici. With a doner kebab in my wife's hand for dinner, we got onto the next bus. We caught up on the goings-on at the office and how the final move-out had gone for me and Virginia. My wife suddenly fell silent and stared, panicked, looking past me out the window. This isn't right. We shouldn't be on the autostrada. She discovered, after urgently applying her new Italian to the bus driver, that our Lerici bus had transferred at the next bus stop onto another route with no announcement, taking us instead up into the mountains and past a nearby village. Our hour-long diversion was an introduction to the roads and driving style of Italy. The law of gross tonnage does apply, lighting is optional, switchbacks are frightening in any vehicle. We finally got off at another bus stop that my wife recognized in downtown La Spezia. We talked with another traveler who was trying to get up into the mountains to visit a friend. Only now do I realize that he probably should have been on the bus we'd just gotten off. After trying to help the lost soul, we got on another bus that did drop us off at the marina in Lerici. I stepped off the bus, and 3 meters away lay the Mediterranean, a jarring juxtaposition brought to me by international travel. My wife immediately started walking briskly into the town square, towards what I now know is the hill, at the top of which was our apartment. In hindsight, I liked the hill, It has made me thinner and stronger. I've even discovered a new notch on my belt. That night, that first night, I hated the hill. The wheels of my enormous luggage squeaked feebly as we pushed it up each step. Some steps are 3 meters long, others half a meter. Bricks form the main path. The lip of each step, chiseled stone. There are rough rocks set in cement on either side of the brick path for no good reason. The hill does not stop. The hill hates you and your weak muscles. The hill will make you stronger, whether you want that or not. There will come a time, mine was Thanksgiving 2014, when you do not want to go up or downhill any longer. The hill does not care about your feelings. The hill will crush you. The hill will be there long after you are gone.